Hello everyone. I am so excited today to be part of this amazing summit. And what I wanted to do for all of you to get you centered in your body is really connect you both to your heart center, but also to your womb center. Now, if there are men watching this, I want you to place one hand on your hara, which is on your stomach. And for women, one hand on the womb, one hand on the heart. So men also on the heart, okay? I'm just going to play a little bit of music in the background just to get you centered here. Now, before you place your hand, sorry, I just forgot, I want you to rub your hands really fast. What this actually does, it stimulates all of the nerve endings in your hand to remind you that you are the healer and that you can feel your own vibrational energy emitting through your hands and reconnecting it back to your body. So rub it really hard until you get that warmth happening. Come on, rub it really, really hard, get that energy happening. All right, great. And once you feel that sort of vibration through your hands, then I want you to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb space, which is just underneath the belly, or for men, again, one hand on the stomach, okay? I want you now just to close your eyes and listen to my words as I reconnect you back to the source of creation within you. I want you all now just to take nice, deep, slow breaths as you connect both to your body and to the vibration of your heart. For all of us, men and women, it all began in the womb of your mother, the spark of life, your creation, from a soul to a physical body. You depended on love and affection from your parents to grow and to become human in this life. This is how we developed from the womb into being. Without love and care, we cannot survive. Without love or without action, we learn and miss the meaning of true authenticity of this life. Love and compassion is a biology of us as a human being. And for so many of us along our journey, we have forgotten the true meaning of unconditional love for ourselves. But now I want you to go beyond your history, beyond the pain and suffering that you have experienced in this lifetime, because your wounds and your sufferings do not need to belong to you anymore. This is a prayer to all of your divine beings, your guides, your ancestors, your benevolent ones who have come before you, who stand with you now, strong, watching over you, watching you lead this path, proud of you of what you have done, to also heal the bloodline so that you don't pass on that trauma moving forward. I see the divine in you, and the female power is the source of creation now, because through religions and philosophies, we have known that the true symbol of the divine mother has always come from the mother. And I want you now to connect to the divine mother within you, male or female, that resides within you through your heart and through your womb and through the hara of men. Connect to this beautiful energy within you. Go to the mother within you. Go inside you. True values you will find here beyond this physical body. Unconditional love is seen within you. I love you from the deepest part of my soul light, because I recognize myself in you. We are all one here. And through this conference, we join hearts as unity radiates through all of us, joining through all of us. I ask you to feel this divine love within your heart pulsing and through your womb merging as one, as this energy is now uniting all of us through threads of creation. Listen now to your heart. Listen now to your womb. What does she want to tell you in this moment, in this frequency of divine love? I ask you to just breathe her love within you now. Where once you may have been lost, but now you have found yourself through love. And as our vibrations merge as one, we remember our true power, divine love and unity. Thank you. My name is Dr. Tharshini. I'm actually a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. I'm a global energetic specialist and a womb medicine teacher. So I have had about 17 years experience in the health industry where I combine both Chinese medicine, Western medicine science, and energy medicine to really transform a woman and male life through fertility, new ways of fertility treatments, through gynecological issues women experience in the womb, through all the way into menopause and the different stages of a woman's life. So I've done many global platforms where I've done this sort of education. I was part of the Awake TV network in America, where I did 12 live episodes on fertility healing, but also educating on a much bigger platform to get this knowledge out, because I believe that it's the birthright of every single woman to know the knowledge of the womb. So this is where the impact is. And for me, growing up, this is an area where I didn't understand my body. For a lot of you, I'm sure, when you think about your first period even, how was that even educated to you? Did you have a proper conversation with your mother around it? Because when we talk about the first menstrual cycle, it's usually our first connection to our bodies. And for me, growing up in a Sri Lankan culture, even though our periods were celebrated, I had no idea what was happening. I just knew that there was a big party for me. And what I understood as I grew up was that a lot of the trauma that I had gone through was really coming back to my period, my first cycle, because I kept getting pain here. And I didn't understand why. And then as I journeyed deeper into my womb, I realized that it was because of the suffering I had gone through as a child. Growing up as a Sri Lankan woman, I was very much controlled. And my mother didn't have rights. We couldn't go out. I wasn't allowed to play even. I remember memories of me as a child where we didn't even have toys. I had my first toy at 6 years old. And living in that sort of environment where there was quite a lot of abuse, it wasn't safe. It wasn't a place where I learnt love. And then at the age of 7 years old, my father violently raped me. And so as a child, I just shut down and I was so angry and again, disconnected to my body because I didn't want to feel anything, which is something that so many of us women experience, either through physical abuse, verbal abuse, where we were repressed in some way or our voices were shut down. All of this actually just creates a disconnection to our bodies, because what happens is that our voice is actually directly linked to our womb. And the reason for that is if you were to look on a diagram and you looked at your throat and your larynx, it looks very similar to the uterus. and the vulva. And so a lot of the time when we shut our voices down, it closes up our womb, which is what happened to me. I didn't feel the stability that our womb space creates for us. You know, this is a place where it gets firstly built when we're a baby in utero. In that first 4 months of our development, that's the area, the root chakra, that gets developed. So this is a place where we feel safe as a baby, where we feel safe as a woman and as a man, where we feel centered and grounded. And I didn't feel this as a child because I learned not long after that my mum's pregnancy was also very, very traumatic for her, because she fell pregnant suddenly and she was in an arranged marriage to my dad. So again, I felt this unsafety inside the womb of my mother, which is what so many of us, the reason why so many of us feel these emotional burdens of pain and suffering and grief when we were inside the womb of our mother. You were just being imprinted with her emotions through your cells, through your DNA, through your blood. And you were taking it for her so that she didn't have to feel this suffering, which is what I was encoded with. And as a woman, I learned that, you know what? I'm not going to be what our ancestors went through. I'm not going to be the one that's going to, again, have their voices shut down and not be able to find my freedom and my truth. So I stood up. I thought, you know what? I don't care. And I had a voice and I was angry. So I used it to the full force I could at the age of 15. And this is where I stepped for the first time into my power, because I pushed for a restraining order against my uncles. Because during this time, my mother was getting beaten up. She was getting hit by her brothers, forcing her to do things that she didn't want to do, and have them having full control of our lives. And hitting and abuse is just not on. But for my family, that's what they believed was love. And for so many people who do the suffering, who actually put us in pain, who hit us or abusive to us, they actually don't know any different. They don't know how to actually process their own emotions or what truth even really means to them. And so during that time, I learned to have deeper compassion for my family because they didn't know any better. And this took me into an area of being a Chinese medicine doctor, where I discovered so much about myself that I could not even imagine, and into a life where I was being forced to work with women. This is not something I wanted to do because women were so complicated. They had so many issues when it came to the womb, to the emotions, and I was someone who was disconnected. So I was scared and fearful. I was all about being in the mind, being strong, analytical, logical, but disconnected to my heart, like so many of us, because we don't want to go back into the pain and suffering that we went through because it triggers us. But what I learned from my journey into Chinese medicine, not only did I learn how connected our organs were to our emotion, that our emotion could physically cause problems in our organs. This is what I discovered with women. They were experiencing things like endometriosis, PCOS, period pain, psychological issues when they got their periods. They also experienced fertility issues, menopause problems, hysterectomies. They even experienced cancer in the cervix and through the lungs. These were the two integral centers of a woman, the heart and womb. And so I needed to go beyond the physical structure of the body. Even though I understood it so well from a Chinese medicine perspective and science, I thought there's more. There's so much more to a woman. And so it took me into a journey through the womb. And as I literally meditated inside my womb, I discovered a portal gateway, a gateway from the existence of the physical structure of the uterus into the portal gateway of the cosmos, where I connected to the mother, the divine mother, the source of creation. Not only that, but through the earth mother as well, Mother Gaia. And I learned that the source of creation in the divine mother resides within every single woman's womb space. That this is the integral part of our creation, that we need to go beyond. Because through this area, we were able to connect to all of our ancestors. And I saw this. I saw this like literal golden threads through the womb, joining together through a creatrix web. And I felt it energetically through my womb, this pulling sensation saying, we are with you, we hold you, we're watching over you, and now you have learnt the wisdom of the womb. And as I journeyed even deeper through a vortex of darkness, I learnt that darkness was the gift. That so many of us are scared to sit in darkness within our suffering, but also literally where we can actually just switch off all the lights, no light coming in through your house, and then sit in this darkness. And so many of us get scared. We feel fearful. But what we have to remember was that you were born through this darkness. You sat in this darkness for 9 months of your life in this creation. And when we sit in this darkness, this is where the light resides. This is where a new truth, a new understanding, a new awareness of who you are comes through. And this is what I discovered. I discovered that all of the abuse, the rape, the suffering, the control, not from just this lifetime for me, but through generations of our ancestors who had gone through the same thing, they all had to come through this understanding of non-judgment for the suffering that men had created for women, the patriarchal society. And I discovered that the womb was unconditional love, that she had no judgment, that even though we had suffering in the womb, the true creatrix web of the Mother Earth creation in through the womb was love. And in that moment, I saw all of my past lives, all of my timelines. When I was in Africa, when I saw women being raped, abused, I saw the physical pain coming through my body. I started grieving, crying, shedding their tears, saying, why? And then my womb opened. And then I saw love. I saw that these men knew no different. They didn't understand. They weren't educated. And in that moment, I was pulsing with so much love. Everything was dissolving from my womb. All of those imprints were being dissolved. I saw my ancestors. I healed my bloodline. I saw my dad. Even though he had passed away, I saw his soul come through my womb, saying, asking for forgiveness. And then I saw the timeline. I saw that he was abused at the same age that I was. I saw his pain and his suffering. And I saw that now that he was spirit, that he knew these lessons, that he understood. And in that moment, my heart expanded to such a level that unconditional love started to ripple through me for him. And I didn't hate him, or I wasn't even at peace anymore. I was beyond that. I was in a state of unconditional love for my father in a way that as if he had never abused me. And that was the gift. That was the gift, to feel this sort of love, of non-judgment. And it made me realize the forgiveness that humanity needs in order to progress further, to really heal. And this can only happen through the womb. Everything that we must rediscover about self-love and unity and rising of the feminine has to come back to the womb, because this is the information that's residing within every woman, that you can gain all this knowledge through the womb heart, because the womb is the second heart. It is what holds the heart in place to allow you to feel this magnitude of love to ripple through humanity. This is what we can discover. And as one woman heals her womb, it heals the collective. It heals every woman. And we start to connect our threads to each other. And this is magical, because as women were coming to me and flocking to me all around the world, I was teaching this knowledge not through a textbook, not through courses. It was what my own womb was showing me. So can you imagine the knowledge that's residing within you, the intelligence that's residing within you, the intelligence of the womb? This is power. This is incredible power. This is a moment where we actually become superhuman, because being human is super. We just forgot, and that knowledge got lost over thousands and thousands of years, but your ancestors from those tribes knew it. So we need to come back. And that is the true gift. So as I pass on this knowledge, and if any of you want further knowledge on this, please reach out, because it's time now for all of us women to rise together and to truly remember who we are. And I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.